Hi all and welcome to this achievement guide for the Angler mask in Sable. This achievement is part of the DLC or update for Sable, and it is given out for unlocking the new mask, the Angler mask. And this map can only be found through the Angler hut and the fishing quest. And the Angler hut is a boat which can be found in the middle area of Midden, Sansee, and in the area where my cursor is right now. The circle area south of Burnt Oak Station is the area where the Angler hut can be found. And that is the Angler hut. Angler hut. And you need to talk to Yoshi the Angler. So, by talking to Yoshi the Angler, he will give you both a quest line and also your first fishing rod. And you will then proceed to catch 9 different fish, and you will have to catch them in different areas. And for every 3 of those you catch, you will get an angler badge. And when you get your 3rd angler badge, you can trade those in as per usual and get the new angler mask. So, when you're done talking to him, you'll get the quest Gone Fishing. And this also gives you a quick explanation on how to actually fish in the game. So now that we can fish, cast with X and then just wait until an exclamation mark appears above your head, then press X again to reel in. So keep the box on top of the fish, and when it turns blue. So basically when you pick a fish up, you'll get a little information box on which type of fish you've just picked. So it's quite easy to mark them off. So when you have the fishing rod, you also get your first quest, Gone Fishing. And this is a quest that has several parts, as I mentioned. And the first one is to catch some fish in Sansee, so the area where you start out. And the Bellow Guppy, I think you can almost catch anywhere. The other ones can be a bit trickier, the Pebble Eye and the Pillowfish. You could go around randomly trying to catch them in Sansee, but it is quite a big area. So if you want to make this as easy on yourself as possible, you should actually head on over to the Wash and find the other new area in this DLC called the Vivarium. And inside of this building, there's a scientist that has hints that you can pick up on where to catch the different fish that you need. And you can buy these with money. And I would actually suggest you go and do this as part of this quest. So after you have run into the Angler hut, head south into the Wash and go to the Vivarium, which is almost in the center east part of that map. And this is kind of the hint. Last I heard, she was working on getting something set up in the Wash. Research center on or something. Good for her, I say. So that is your hint and clue to go to the Wash and find the Vivarium. So here we are in the Wash in search of the Vivarium. And you can see where I am on the map. And that over there is the Vivarium. So this is the Wash area, and where the cursor is on the map is close to where the Vivarium is. And it's not hard at all to get in there. Just find the door, go inside, and there's only one person in there. And here is the main entrance to the Vivarium. And when you get that, you'll also have it on the map, so you can fast travel there again. And inside you'll run into Casii the researcher, and she is the one that can sell you the intel on all of the fish. When you talk to Casii, you will have the option to pick, do you know where I can catch fish? And that will open a store view where you can buy the hints. So here you have the store, and you can buy the ones you need for the specific task, or you can buy all of them if you have the cash. You might want to do that because you'll probably get back to the shop otherwise in later stages of the quest. But here you can pick the ones you need, and then you'll get a text hint on where to go. And you'll find these under quest items in the inventory. So in case of the Pebble Eye clue, if you select the item, you'll get a brief hint. In this case, it's a common fish that seeks shade in the eastern dune. So that means that you'll have to look for a part with dunes in the eastern part of Sansee. So it's not super specific every time, but it will give you a general direction. And when it comes to the palefish, it basically says persistence will pay off when fishing in areas full of cacti. And Sansee has an area packed full of cacti, and it can be found in the sort of small string of land leading up to the northeastern area. And it's filled with cacti. So that one was more specific than the other one. So this is the part of Sansee I was talking about, the small string leading up to the north, and this area is filled with cacti. And there we have the pillfish, so that's number 2 in the list, done and dusted. So now we needed to pick up the last fish in the dunes, and I just picked an area on the eastern part of the Sansee area and went there and looked for dunes, basically. So it's basically this type of area you're looking for on the border of Sansee, and you can actually see the balloon from here. But this is the dune part of the area. And here is the Pebble Eye, the last fish that we need to get our first angler badge. So now we can see that we have the Pebble Eye, the Bellow Guppy, and the pillfish, and I should bring the fish back to Yoshi will be the next part of this quest. So here we are back talking to Yoshi, and I have those fish you asked me for. Well, good work, Glider. First step complete, so we need to do another 2 steps. And we will get the first angler badge. And now he will say, but fishing's all about patience. For your next assignment, I want you to head down to the wash. Bring me a little kicker, a bloated eye clam, and a trifle jelly. So you might already have the hints for this, but otherwise it's time to head back to the Vivarium and pick those up, unless you want to go around the wash fishing and hoping for the best, that is. So when I picked this one up, I already had a little kicker and a trifle jelly because I was randomly fishing in the wash and I caught these fairly quickly. So I think the little kicker and the trifle jelly are somewhat random to the area, but the bloated eye clam was more difficult. Also, if you are working on the Vivarium quest, you need to catch more than one fish so you can turn them in. And if you do that, you will eventually get better rods as a reward. So as part of doing the fishing quest, you might also be getting better rods. And in this case, I got the cactus spine rod. So here we have the hint for the Bloated Eye Clam, a parasitic tree killer. And the wash has an area with a lot of dead trees in the northeastern part of the area. So I went there. So I started fishing in this area. And I got a little kicker. So that's one of the other fish we needed for this area. So they can be found pretty much anywhere. And here we have the Bloated Eye Clam. And when you get a good spot and catch one of these, you might want to catch one more for the other quest as well. But we now have the Bloated Eye Clam. So we can once again head back to Yoshi the Angler. I caught a little kicker, I caught a Bloated Eye Clam, and I caught a Trifle jelly. I should bring the fish back to Yoshi. So once again, I have those fish you asked me for. And then we'll get another angler badge. Well, here's another angle. Here's another badge for your hard work. And then we go on to part 3. One final assignment before the mask is yours. And this one will take you west to Redsee, so the third area for this quest. And now he wants a stormfish, a sand ray, and a hummer. And the stormfish is basically the random fish of that area, so that shouldn't be hard, but you might want to pick up the hints for the sand ray and the hummer. So here we have the sand ray clue in Redsee. These fish seek the deeper parts of the sands. And we also have the stormfish clue, a tricky catch that rides in the crests of crimson sands. So all of them are not super easy to understand. And the last one, the hummer clue. These fish seek green areas with trees and foliage. And this one is fairly easy because there is an area with a lot of palm trees in the Redsee area. And that is where you need to go in order to get the hummer. So the stormfish, I just went to Ikria, and just outside of the city gates, I started fishing. And the first fish that I actually caught was a stormfish, and they are somewhat easy to get a hold of. And for the sand ray, I actually went to the whale because I thought that would be the deep desert and the deepest sands possible. So I went to the whale, and then I went a bit away from that ship and found this area. And I tried to fish close to walls. And here I actually got the sand ray. And I continued to fish in this very spot and only got sand rays, so this was a very good spot for catching this particular fish. So now I have the stormfish and the sand ray, and I now need to catch a hummer. So in order to find some foliage, I went to the Balfron connection because there's a lot of woods close to that ship. And this is where I caught the hummer. And once again, once I found a good spot, I actually caught quite a few of them with ease. But this was the last fish that we needed. So when you hand in the last 3 fish, the quest completed gone fishing will unlock when you're done talking to him. Quest completed, gone fishing. And then you can actually go in to the quest menu and see I've earned 3 angler badges. I can take my badges to a mask caster to claim my angler mask. And when you have this, you can simply go to any camp with a mask caster and get this done. then when he is done, you will get the angler mask and the achievement will unlock as well. Thank you for watching this achievement guide video for the angler mask. Hopefully you now have it. I would love if you drop a sub or a like on the channel, and I would also love it if I saw you again in future videos. But for now, it is time to say bye bye.